Before his days in the White House, Donald Trump actually dubbed himself the king of the tax code. Now prosecutors say spreadsheets from his company provided a roadmap for the Trump Organization's indictment on tax-related charges fraud. In court documents filed last week, federal lawyers said the organization spent 15 years paying Alan Weisselberg, its chief financial officer, through off-the-books benefits like cars, apartments, and tuition payments for his grandchildren. But the indictment goes on to add that the Trump Organization kept internal spreadsheets that tallied all this up. All these payments being hidden from the IRS are on paper. And as the Washington Post puts it, quote, prosecutors treated the spreadsheets as the accounting equivalent of a confession. And that concealment, they say, showed that the Trump Organization knew it was wrong. Joining our conversation is David Fahrenthold, Washington Post political reporter and an MSNBC political analyst and marketing and branding expert, our dear friend Donny Deutsch, host of the On Brand podcast. Okay, so David, this is what I feel like over the last 5 years has always come into play whenever Trump or his orbiter's company have been scrutinized in a criminal context, and that is intent. The existence of two sets of books, one that makes clear that they were knowingly defrauding the IRS, seems to erase any doubt of mind of the intent of their tax filings.
I'm talking to tax law experts. That's what makes this such a strong case, is you don't have to wonder about Trump's intent. You don't have to wonder, did they know what they were doing? Did they understand the tax law? They said it out there. And they said, look, we're going to make a record of how much Alan Weisselberg is supposed to be paid. And then we're going to subtract out all the other benefits we give him, free apartments, free cars, free tuition for his grandkids. We'll subtract that out. And whatever that adds up to, we'll subtract that from his salary and only pay taxes on the rest. So the fact that they've done that shows prosecutors exactly how much money they avoided telling the IRS about. And the fact that they hid it shows intent, that they knew it was wrong and wanted to hide it.
Donny, my dog is barking. I'm sorry about that. But I wonder if you could pull the thread that you... That's Honey, still in the basement. But you have constantly pointed to, through your knowledge of Michael Cohen's professional and sort of post-Trump era life and time served, of the organization's intent. Talk about that in light of what the books show.
Well, the organization, you have to also remember, is very, very, very small. I've mentioned this on the show that it is, and David would know this, although this sprawling documents, it's actually a very small mom and pop operation. And as I've also said on the show, Donald Trump knew where every check went, where it was going. So the Sergeant Schultz, I know nothing defense is not going to hold true here. And the set of books is better than, as you said in your lead up, than any witness. Witnesses make great, sexy TV, but prosecutors will always tell you that documents and receipts are where the rubber hits the road. And, the Trump Organization, it just historically, I remember hearing stories in the 90s that when they were owned by Citibank, that Trump would do things like a contractor would come in and, let's say, to refurbish a ballroom was $1 million. He'd say, put it on, make it $2 million and I'll split the $1 million difference. I mean, any sleazy, ridiculous, scummy thing you can do. And so this is the tip of the iceberg. I've said this before. Now, it's an iceberg in and of itself, $1.5 million of tax fraud and a schematic fraud over years would put anybody in jail for years and years to come. And so this is the tip, and this is just the way this company did business.
David, through your reporting, through some great reporting in the New York Times that's generational in nature, we know so much about the desire to evade taxes and to cheat and to conduct his business exactly as Donny's describing. Let me show you the president in his own words talking about how he cheated on his taxes.
Look, nobody knows the tax code better than I do, okay? I know it better. I'm the king of the tax code.
By the way, just so you know, I know more formulas. I know more about tax abatements. I know more about taxes than any human being that God ever created.
I know how the tax code works better than anyone, and I'm going to fix it so it's fair and just and works for you.
So, David, none of these comments were made in the context of helping the little guy pay less in taxes. They were all made when he was put on the defensive, put back on his heels for refusing to disclose his taxes in the Republican primary back in 2015. How much is there a sense that Trump knew exactly what was going on in terms of defrauding the IRS at his business?
Well, the indictments, I can tell you two things. First, the indictments. The indictments don't say Trump has a role. They say that Weisselberg had organized this scheme along with unnamed others. We don't know who those others are, but Trump himself is not named. we know in general, as Donny said, that the way the Trump organization worked, there was only one decision maker. There was only one person who decided anything, and that was Trump. There were other people with titles, but nobody made any decisions except Trump. So the idea, I think, that anything this significant could have been carried off without Trump's approval sounds out of character for that organization. But, that's going to be up for prosecutors to prove. I think that's going to be probably the next thing they have to try to figure out. Everybody knows Trump was in charge of this company, but show me on paper, show me the witness who can say this specific decision was made at Trump's behest and that Trump knew it was illegal and wanted to do it anyway.
Donny, there's a pattern. As I said, we've watched Trump under criminal investigation for 5 years now for one thing or another. And there's a pattern of normalizing the illegal conduct for the purposes of his own base. And I'm not going to play it here, but here's what he said over the weekend to his most ardent supporters. He said this about prosecutors. Quote, they go after good, hardworking people for not paying taxes on a company car. You didn't pay tax on the car or a company apartment. You used an apartment because you need an apartment because you have to travel too far where your house is. You didn't pay tax or education for your grandchildren. I don't even know. Do you have to? Does anybody know the answer to that stuff? So clearly he's all lawyered up. But this is part of the sanitizing of the criminal conduct for the purposes of his base, thinking it's another witch hunt. I hate to say this out loud, but so far, taking dirt from a foreign adversary, obstructing an investigation into you, paying money to a porn star, so far this is behavior that his base has accepted from him.
Yeah, look, normalizing the behavior is not going to work in a courtroom. But to your point, obviously, the base, it does work. And to them, this is exactly what he's saying. It's going to be ticky-tack stuff. Oh, this is just rich guy stuff. And what's the difference? No big deal. And look, when you are appealing to a base and your premise is, your unhappiness in life is not your fault. It's the brown person's fault or the black person's fault or the media's fault or the Jew's fault or whoever's fault it is. And it's not your lot in life. That's a very powerful message that gives somebody a sense of self and where they don't have to look in the mirror and blame for their plight in life. And they will overlook just about everything when that is the core message, the other message.
That's very profound. You gave me a lot to think about there. David Fahrenthold, I want to give you the last word in terms of where you think this heads and what your questions are about the next steps.
I'm watching two different fronts. The first is obviously the legal front. We're interested to see, do prosecutors charge anybody else? Do they flip Alan Weisselberg and turn him into a witness against Trump? And if they can't, where does this go? Is this, I don't think, is the end, but what's the next step? I'm also interested in the financial element of this. Trump's business is already suffering, having lost customers, vendors, lenders, lawyers. What pressure does this add to a company that's already in an existential crisis?